Afternoon, everyone. My name is Anthony Lamacchia, broker owner of Lamacchia Realty and owner of Crush It in Real Estate. I am here on behalf of RISMedia today to put on this webinar. I'm lucky enough to be moderating it, and I'm very excited because we have an awesome group here to go through things. And we also have a terrific sponsor from Elm Street who's going to be talking about Elm Street for a minute or two, and then we're going to get into our content. So, as I said, today we'll be going over how to help your agents increase their referrals in any market. And I think this is a great subject because the 2-year period that we went through where absolutely everyone was dying to buy a home and everyone had fear of missing out, suddenly that changed about 14 months ago. And now we have to get back to doing the things that we had to do to get us here. And that's why we brought on 2 great leaders that are going to be talking with me about this today for most of the segment, but I first want to turn things over to Stephanie before. So as I said, I'm just going to go through some introductions for a minute. My name is Anthony Lamacchia, broker owner of Lamacchia Realty. Stephanie Alfonso, who I'm going to turn it over to in about 30 seconds, is the senior sales director with Elm Street Technology. Jillian Young is the president of Premier Plus Realty in Southwest Florida. Kevin Lauren is the principal and director of marketing at Alta Realty Group in California. And now what I'm going to ask is Stephanie to chime in and talk a little bit about the Elm Street product, and then we're going to jump right into our content. So leaders that are listening, stay tuned in, stay listening, because we're going to jump back in real soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So super quick, guys. So thankful to once again be sponsoring another awesome RISMedia webinar. So Elm Street Technology, most of you have heard of us. So we, of course, are leading the industry as a massive provider of all types of real estate technology. I love to say we are an end-to-end. And the beautiful thing about us as a technology is something that makes us very unique in the industry. Is that we have an amazing educational team that will actually, for many, many years, we've been going to associations, MLS offices, and now brokerage offices, training agents in all areas of online marketing, whether it's social media marketing, increasing repeat and referral business, lead generation, tips and tricks and do's and don'ts, you name it. That is very much what we are kind of known for, at least my team is known for, being that forward facing. So on this next slide here, you guys, just a little bit about our master classes. Once we're done here with this great conversation, we'll give you guys opportunities to get on our list, sign up. We can absolutely send our team out to your office and really implement and help you guys strategize and provide you guys tools and services to take everything we're talking about here today and get that started in your office. So with that, oh yeah, we are very much a social media company. So go follow us on social media. We are Elm Street on every single one of our platforms. Enough about me. Let's talk with these amazing professionals here today.
Thanks very much, Stephanie. I appreciate you going through that. And what I'd like to do is give about a minute each to both Jillian and Kevin to give a little introduction on themselves, what they do day to day, so that the audience can get some familiarity. I fortunately had already known Jillian from about a year ago at the RISMedia CEO event, which is 3 weeks from now, probably the best leadership event of the year among all the competitors in that space. It's my favorite. And Kevin, I got to know a couple of weeks ago. We talked for about a half an hour. You got a very impressive company in California. So why don't we go ladies first? We'll go with Jillian. Jillian, give us 60 seconds on yourself, what you do, then we'll jump to Kevin and we're going to start, and then I'll start asking some questions.
Sure. Thank you, Anthony. So fun fact, Anthony and I are both at the Florida Realtor Convention right now, which is really fun. So we were a little worried about Wi-Fi, but I think we're good to go. My name is Jillian Young. I serve as the president of 1,500 Amazing Realtors in the Southwest Florida area. We are a market leader in transactions, and we're a low-fee, 100% commission company. We believe that agents should not pay for tools they don't want and support they're not getting. So we really value high support for our business model and a do it with you system, and we like to be the engine and the roadway for agents to drive their business as far and as fast as they would like to. And we love our agents, we love Florida, and it's an incredible honor to be here speaking with you today.
Well, we're happy to have you. Kevin, go ahead.
So my name is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing and one of the founders of Alta Realty Group in California. We are just in California. We're throughout the state, though. We've got agents up and down the state, 300 agents. We started as very similar. We are a flat fee brokerage, so we too, support our agents. We want them to have as many tools as they can, but only the tools they want to use and embrace. And so, yeah, we're very similar to your model, Jillian. And day to day, what I do is I help the agents with their marketing, with their websites, their CRM systems, which we are now using the Elevate system, which has been great. And so that's been a really positive thing in our brokerage.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kevin. And for those of you that don't know me, which is probably most of the crowd, I run a just over 500 agent brokerage. We're a traditional brokerage model. We pride ourselves on high service, high value to the agents, and we've been very much a growing company. We've recently closed 2 separate acquisitions in the last 6 weeks. One day we had a practice call for this, and I was in the midst of closing one, losing my mind. I was so busy, but we were able to get that done. And luckily for me, Kevin and Jillian and Steph were super supportive of my stress that day. So what I'd like to do is just a reminder to the audience and everyone on here that we are talking mainly to leaders today in this segment. It's obviously okay if we throw in anecdotal thoughts that would be advantageous to an agent to hear, but we're talking primarily to broker owners, team leaders, office managers, managing brokers, folks like that who are in charge of implementing training or doing things that will help their agents increase their referrals. And I had talked to the group about some of the things that we were doing at my company, but I want to make this more about what they're doing at their company. So Kevin, one of the things that I want to hit you with first is when you and I were on the phone a few weeks ago, you told me how you guys developed, I don't know if it was a program or just a way to encourage agents to work with local small businesses. And little do you know, I brought that up in our next training, company-wide, and people were loving it. So why don't you take a few minutes and tell us what you're doing to encourage your agents or to help your agents get in touch with local small businesses and to grow from there.
So one thing that all agents have in common is they refer businesses on a daily basis, right? You're always, referring painters, contractors, lawyers. There's a lot of different ancillary businesses in real estate. And so what we, our theory and the way that we do things at Alta is we want to make sure that that group is actually a referral base for us. And so and it goes, some of our agents, go from a once a month meeting in person, at a local coffee shop or something like that. Other agents do a Zoom meeting. Other agents just, once a quarter make sure that they're keeping track of who these ancillary businesses are. And first of all, you're vetting those businesses. You're making sure that that these are really, really, good professionals and that, obviously that can get really tricky because, how hard can you vet these guys? But within reason, you can vet these individuals. Some of these people you've been working with for years and they're awesome. And so that those are people that you can refer out to your clients. So one thing that does is it builds trust with those local businesses in your area, so they also will refer you. So this is a two-way street, right? We're not just saying, hey, I'm just going to start referring business to you and hey, free ride, right? No. We say, you got to definitely, this goes this way as well, right? So that's a huge thing that we've done in our business and things that we make sure that our agents are implementing in their business.
Well, and one of the things that you made me think of, Kevin, when you and I discussed it that day is I have seen other realtors out there in various markets, including some in my own company, that occasionally will interview a local business owner on a video. So they'll do a video and they'll say, tell me about your business, or they'll say, I've been doing business with your company for X years. Sometimes it's a dry cleaner, pizza shop, restaurant, auto mechanic, Is that the type of stuff that you are promoting as well and encouraging agents to do?
Absolutely. So, that's kind of two different things, a little bit. The one is actual businesses that are ancillary businesses to what you're doing in real estate, and then just showcasing local businesses that are in your community. Those are two great sources of referral, right? Totally different though. And then another thing that you can do with both of those groups is you can get those people to offer a special deal to your clients. So you're able to go out on your social media, on your Elevate platform, and make sure that you're putting it out on your CRM and on your monthly newsletters and stuff like that. Hey, my painter's running a deal. So you're promoting their businesses. They know that they're going to promote you as well. So, but great point as well, Anthony. Those are two different things, though, for sure.
Thank you, Jillian. Anything you want to add in that space, or do you want to jump into some of the things you've done from a tech perspective you brought up, where you've made things simple for agents? Jump in however you'd like there.
Yeah, thank you. So Kevin, I totally on board with everything that you're offering to your agents. It's similar to the types of things that we're encouraging our agents to do as well. Your tech stack is so important, and really appreciate the work that Elm Street Technologies is doing with their Elevate platform. And so I think it's important for agents to remember that those professional relationships, it's important for our leaders to teach those agents how to use their CRM to maintain those professional relationships and do all of the referral touches with local businesses, CPAs, lawyers, things like that. As you are working your sphere, think of that as a referral sphere, not just for buyers and sellers, but for all of the people that would refer business through their business. They're interacting with your customers all the time. One thing that we encourage our agents to do and train them how to do is create community guides on their website. So we have a very robust blog platform that every agent can utilize. And we're a very lifestyle community. So golfing, tennis, beach, waterfront life. And we encourage agents to, connect with the local businesses
Fishing.
Right, fishing, the whole deal. So, your local fishing guide, think about how many relocation opportunities he comes across. So if you actually, one of our top producers is a fishing boat captain, and that is 100% how he gets most of his business. So, so using the technology that you have in order to come up quickly on keyword searches for your area for businesses. So in the example of using a painter, think about it. If you were giving your agents the templates, the tools, showing them how to chat GPT, write a blog post that's keyword rich about the best top 5 local painters in your area, you can really become that resource and reach out to those business owners and say, hey, I really want to sponsor you, really want to highlight your business. I'm grateful for the way you contribute to our community. Would love for you to think of me when you encounter a potential buyer or seller. So I think as brokerage leaders, it is our responsibility to create that foundation of opportunity for our agents, because they're so head down day to day working in their business that it's really our job to look for the opportunities that are right in front of them and be able to host trainings and give them the templates and the tools and resources available to help them do that effectively.
And
I wanted to chime in super quick. Yeah, some of the things that both of you had said. Obviously, Kevin utilizing our platform within their brokerage. I love, one of the best things about Kevin is just the fact that he invests so much in really coming alongside his agents. Yes, they have amazing technology, but no matter how great your technology is, to your point, Jillian, if you don't know how to use it, if you don't have that kind of support, then that's where you get into adoption rate, right? And most brokers that I'll speak to will say, gosh, we have like a 10 or 20% adoption rate of our CRM. How can I increase this? So there's a lot of things that go along with that. But when it comes to what you guys are talking about, is really comes down to being community experts, right? And really being a community resource through blogging, you know, through connecting and utilizing a blog or a video platform as a networking tool. And so I wanted to give you guys just two quick examples. One's a client uses their platform to literally showcase everything that goes on in the local high school. Anything, sporting events, parent-teacher conferences, school dances, anything that goes on in the high school, she puts it on her real estate blog. She's so consistent, does this so often that parents, faculty will refer to her blog before they go to the school's website, right? Talk about branding. You know, another client of mine will highlight a restaurant of the week. Sometimes she'll do a video. Sometimes she doesn't have time. Hey, you want to give me a couple paragraphs about your business? I'm going to put you in my real estate blog. Great opportunities just to provide value. And I'm going to give you one example, not a client of mine. It's going to be somebody that I'm a client of theirs. We live in Florida, so you're outnumbered, Kevin, with East Coasters over here. Been here for my entire adult life, but my husband and I are making the move to Denver, Colorado. So this is something that's been a long time in the works. Well, we don't really know anyone in Denver, Colorado, but we've been watching YouTube videos like crazy. All these videos just about relocation and just different towns and areas and the suburbs versus the city. So we found a video that was all about location. You know, he would do a video on this town, the restaurants, the school systems, all this kind of stuff. And we didn't know till the fourth video that he was a realtor. Had no idea, right? Didn't even know. Saw that he was a realtor. This is what I teach. This is what I do. So I called him. I said, listen, your videos are amazing. You are who I like. This is exactly what I needed. You provided me so much value. The following week, we were going to be there for the week of 4th of July. We met up. We went to happy hour together. He was able to give us, just more information, but I didn't even know. It's that give to get model that I love that you guys are doing, because that's what it's all about.
You're 100% right, Stephanie, and that's how I was able to grow the Crush It in Real Estate page and company, which is a training and coaching company. But I started with doing videos in November of 2017 that talk to realtors. One of the things I always say when I speak, and I spoke yesterday at a large office here in Orlando for a friend, I said, when you educate, you attract. When you educate, you attract. So us leaders need to encourage our agents to educate. And that's the point Jillian was making. That's the point Stephanie was just making, is we have to teach them how to educate, because the more information they put out, the more they're going to attract people. So when you guys just saw me checking my phone, I was not distracted. I was looking up to make sure I said the right name of an Instagram page. But I want to tell everyone out there that's listening, check out All Marblehead on Instagram. Okay, All Marblehead. And this is a realtor that's not at my company. He's not. He's at another company. He posts information about Marblehead, Massachusetts, which is just north of Boston. And just what you just said, Stephanie, if you scroll this, you will see probably every 10th post is a listing of his. Everything else is what's going on in the town. I've seen him put things up when there's construction. There's construction on such and such street. It's going to be a one-way for 3 weeks. People fishing, all different kinds of things. And it goes back to the point that I'm getting at, that when you educate, you attract. And that's what we're all trying to point out here. And for the leaders that are listening, you should be doing that. And not only to consumers, buyers, and sellers, and providing your realtors with content to give to buyers and sellers, which I'm going to jump back to Jillian on, because she talked about giving them assets in images and things they can use before, and I want to have her elaborate on that, but it's also educating realtors. So Jillian, my air conditioner's turning on again. Take over and tell them about what you were talking about when you said giving images, giving things to your agents.
Oh, sure. So I think as brokerage leaders, it's our job to equip agents so that even though we're a 100% commission company, we still just want them to sell, because we know that they're not necessarily marketing experts. So our job is to provide every resource and opportunity and training, or point them to resources. I think Anthony's Working by Referrals course is a huge game-changing class that brokerage leaders need to make their agents attend. And in terms of actual digital assets and content, we have stock photos that we have the royalty-free licenses to be able to distribute. So we have a nice library of that, because I don't know if you realize this, but we've got hit with some copyright dings for some of our agents who were using images off of Google, who now there's a nice little law firm that wants to ding every agent for doing that. So we're trying to provide a library of images agents can use. RPR, you're with your NAR benefit, RPR has an incredible new AI tool that will give you an AI written market update. So that is in the form of a video script. So we showed our agents, hey, log into RPR, put in your farm area, give me a market update, ask it to write a script. There's no excuse. You have a script right there, point your face at the video and read your screen, post it on your social media. So I think that we can give agents the tools and the resources and the assets in order to succeed. Another thing that as brokerage leaders, we need to make sure our agents are doing is their follow-up game. And that's where your technology comes in. So because you can get all kinds of inquiries, but it's how you convert them and how you continue to follow up with them. And I think that that's what turns a referral into commission.
Thank you, Jillian. One of the things that we have found, and we just took this to the next level this summer, is you've got to make it easy on your agents if you want them to do it. So back in the beginning of July, I was giving a spiel about how agents should be going after more market share by increasing their sphere lists, increasing their database, growing their database. And I was saying it each week, and I was saying, oh, put it in a spreadsheet, send it to the tech team, they'll upload it for you. They weren't doing it. So last week, we actually had a training. We spent 20 minutes with our head of IT, our head of marketing, the tech team, and they went over step by step how to put all the contacts on a spreadsheet. We made the spreadsheet template. We sent it to them, and guess what? Bang, they did it. And now the amount of contacts went up substantially. Kevin, what do you have to add to that or to what Jillian was saying with respect to providing educational content that your agents can use? And then I just found your email, Kevin, that you had sent last week or the week before, and I'm going to come right back to you with another question, but let's answer this one first.
Yeah, so at ARG Alta Realty Group, we do Wednesday webinars every week at 9 a.m. And so what we always provide is some kind of marketing training. And sometimes it's even, outside of marketing training, it could even be, looking at contracts, looking at, various aspects of deals. And so, but I'd say about 90% of our webinars are about training on marketing. And so really, really key for us, because if we are not training our agents on how they're going to do their marketing, most of the agents really don't have a really savvy background in technology. And so a lot of the things that we're doing now in real estate marketing, it has to do with technology. So I'd say about, 80% of our agents come to us because they need that help with the training, they need that help with their marketing, because they're from the older ways of real estate, 20, 30 years ago when it was a lot different. So they have experience with deals, they have experience with interpersonal skills, they're amazing realtors, but they need to have that gap bridge, that technology gap bridge. So one thing that we do is we also, of course, we provide them with the Elevate platform, website, CRM, all the tools there, but we also have a huge Canva. So I don't know if you guys are using Canva, but we provide our agents with tons of branded marketing materials of all kinds, video templates, you name it, client welcome kits, things that they can just put a tiny bit of their information in, and it's already ready to go. So to your point, Anthony, if you don't make it easy for your agents, they're not going to do it. And I've been doing this for 7 years now, and I know for sure that agents are too busy. They're doing too many other things, and if it's something that's just they have to spend tons of time on, they're not going to do it.
Well, that's right, because agents are inherently salespeople. They're good. Most of them are, people. They're good at going out, meeting people, showing homes, making relationships, but they lack on the business side, and they tend to lack on the marketing details side. Now, Kevin, I want to stay with you a minute because I went back to Jillian a couple times, and I want to stay with you on something else you had mentioned in your email a couple of weeks ago, which was implement a system for feedback and reviews and market them. Why don't you elaborate that, and then I'm going to jump back to Jillian to talk a little bit about content But I will say, Steph, if you want to jump in when Kevin's done to add anything with respect to reviews, feel free. But let's go to Kevin first.
Sure.
Yeah, so our philosophy is that reviews are for marketing. You ask your clients for not for a testimonial, not for a review, but for feedback. So feedback is what that's the outbound. I'm asking for feedback. When it comes back in, it becomes a testimonial, a review, and that is what you use in marketing. So it's a really important thing to make sure that so first of all, where are these reviews found? Well, Facebook, Google's probably your biggest one and your easiest one to build reviews on as an agent. So every agent needs to have their local business Google page, and every Google page has a little button that you can click on that says leave a review. And so you can copy that link, you can put it in your signature line in your emails, you can put it in social media, you can put it in every single email that you send to anybody. You can also use that when you've closed the transaction and you're asking for that feedback. You can say, it's not just, oh, just send me an email. No.
Yeah.
Click on the link and leave your Google review, right?
Well,
So,
and let me point something out, Kevin. What you're saying there is no different than what we just said about agents. If we don't teach the agents how to make it easy on the client's not going to do it either.
1000%. So and you have to make it bulletproof, Anthony, because the client, if they just have to click on one thing and write a sentence, they might do it. If they have to jump through these hoops and all that kind of stuff, they'll never do it. And you don't want to ask a client to do that kind of thing. You want to make it easy for them. They're your client. They just, you just got paid a huge commission for, dealing with this client. So you want to make it easy for them. You want to, make it something that they'll actually do.
Yeah, so with that, one of the biggest issues is the ask. You just you just got a huge commission, right? You just did so much for them. And then realtors get paralyzed to even ask for the review. And then sometimes they don't even know where to put it. So this is where automation comes in. And as leaders, we can equip our agents to be able to say, all right, this is a tool that will automatically request reviews from these transactions, right? Obviously, this is something that we have within the Elm Street sphere of our products. But this is something that is so important. You think about this, when we're done with an Uber ride, what's the first thing before you can close out that transaction? What do you have to give? You have to leave a review, right? And then, before you can do anything and close it out. So when you have automation tools like we have with our referral engine, it can be tied in to your database. So as soon as that transaction closes, it's being, you have something being sent to your clients, thanking them, allowing them to be able to click and leave a review to your Google, to wherever you have that set up. So again, if we as leaders can provide tools for automation for that, it makes it easy for your agents to get it done and not have to ask. And it makes it easy for their clients to be able to do it right there and then. I've never not left a 4 or 5 star for my Uber driver. I have to, right? And so if we can kind of follow that model, you're going to see that your agents are going to start having so many more of those 5-star reviews online. And then, of course, that's good for everyone.
Yeah, and so
well said, Stephanie.
One more thing, Anthony. That's a really good point, because within your tool, you can change where you're sending your client to leave a review. So it's a strategy that we have is to build up, your Google reviews and then build up your Facebook reviews. And so you want to have this installation, right? Because at any time, some jerk could, and we've all had them as clients, can come out of the woodwork. You could do everything right, and you're just going to still get that bad review. And so you have to create that insulation. So, if you've got one bad review out of 50, no big deal. If you have one bad review out of 3, big ding, and you don't look good, right?
Well, fun tip. I like to send cookies to the people that give us bad reviews or give our agents bad reviews and say, could you adjust, could we work on that? Could we correct that with you? Because you really can't, you can't always, it's always better to respond to those for your reputation management than it is to sort of ignore it, so that the audience can see that you have a professional response. But cookies, you know, don't hurt the situation either. So
and clients are, you know, clients can take those with a grain of salt, especially if, you know, somebody kind of rants and like, you know, you can tell, oh, maybe this person's like a little off their rocker. And then you have a very, you know, empathetic and professional response. That's in a lot of times that might even be better than just another good review.
Yep.
Right. So you got to think of it, and us as leaders have to train our agents, and we have to, you know, have the conversation, because they're not really thinking about that stuff. Like Anthony said, they're thinking about, you know, all the different things that they're doing with their deal, you know, and there's so many different factors. So this, you know, this marketing stuff has to be on autopilot, you know, 100%.
They're thinking about their next showing, a listing appointment that just came in, an offer that's going on, and that's why it's our job to try to make things easy on them and guide them a little bit. Jillian, one of the things you had mentioned is you could go on and on about content, and I'd like you to spend a little bit more time on that for a couple of minutes. So why don't you go ahead?
Sure. So the title of this webinar is how to help your agents increase referrals in any market. And we know as brokerage leaders, it's our job to help. And we know that this market in particular, I don't know about where you're watching from, those who are watching, but in Florida, especially in our area with Hurricane Ian and last part of last year, our market took quite a hit. And so we have been sort of scrambling on different tactics, going back to basics for our agents on how to increase their referral business. And one of the things that we have loved doing is in our partnership with our affiliated business relationship with our mortgage partner, Neo Home Loans, is we do a content day. So it is a 4-hour period of time. We limit it to however many agents we can fit in that amount of time. We set up several ring lights and wireless mics and phones. We have 20 scripts that agents can choose from, and we bang out reels for those 4 hours for those agents. They do a little training, they can review the scripts, and then we set them up so that they have content, because we know when the market is down, they need to be putting out content about the market so that you know, maybe the people watching aren't buying and selling, but they can send it to their aunt or their friend or whatever and say, hey, this person knows a lot about the beachfront properties that were damaged or being rebuilt or things that are coming on the market. So again, making it easy for agents just to show up, do their best in front of the camera, and have the scripts available to them. So shout out to Neo Home Loans for doing an amazing job doing that. But we've gotten an incredible return. Agents are getting responses on their Instagram accounts doing that, and it's done for them. It's posted, edited, captions, the whole deal. So we love that service. It's been a great way for us to just provide extra value.
I like that, and that goes right back to what we were saying as far as making it easy. I've not done that one. I've told agents, get on video. You guys know, as Jillian, you know, I'm always doing videos, and I tell agents, do videos, put out education. I even tell agents, watch my videos, copy them, and go do it. And very few do it. I don't want to say no one does it, but very few. But you're basically saying you're bringing in the cameras, you're bringing in the process. You guys are going over it with them and saying, okay,
editing it, scripting it, shooting it, and again, that's Neo Home Loans, and so we're just in partnership with them. And we have to do a lottery. We have to do a lottery with our agents and just randomly choose the ones that can go, because it's so in demand for them to be able to do this. So
awesome.
Kevin, I want to jump over to you. I'm looking at your email again, and we do the monthly newsletter on behalf of the agents. It's their job to just get it in the database, get the contacts in the database. But one thing that you've said, I've got to give you credit again, because I've talked about this, but we haven't actually done it, is in your email, you said monthly newsletter, email, and A-list hard copy in mail. So I suspect that the database is this big, but then this many people, you're telling them to mail it out as well. Jump on that.
Absolutely. So one of the things that one of the founders co-founders, Bill Seitz and I did. We ran a company called Baja Surf Properties in the early 2000s and into about 2008. And we sold property primarily to Americans and Canadians that were looking to buy, coastal property, vacation properties in Southern Baja. And so we had a monthly newsletter that went out religiously. And that, Anthony, was our #1 sales tool. And we never missed a month. We grew our list and got our list massive. And we had our top ones, of course, received a hard copy. So, our agents at ARG, we say, okay, everybody's going to get the email newsletter. Great, you're going to stay top of mind with a lot of those people. But there are those top tier customers and clients, and you know who they are. They've either purchased multiple properties with you. You know who they are. So you have your A list. And and it might be just a fraction of your entire list, but having that hard copy also follow the email and the digital newsletter is massive, because you'll get it's another touch, it's another touch, and it's a different touch than an electronic one. And so newsletter, mailers are not dead.
Nope. I'm with you on that one, Kevin. And I'll tell you, there's a class that I'm working on creating right now called Back to the Future. Right? Talking about some of the old school practices and how we can really start incorporating all of the new tech practices along with that, right? I tell agents all the time, be in your client's inbox and their mailbox. But again, you're not going to reach hundreds and to thousands of people in their mailbox, right? You got to really kind of narrow it down to your preferred client list, right? Maybe your top 100. And have those preferred, those preferred client newsletters going out, whether it's at a brokerage level or an agent level. But really, like you said, print is not dead. If agents or brokers are buying leads, think about it. You're getting all these leads that are coming in, maybe, and what about following up with them? If you're doing PPC leads on Google, right? You're narrowing down who in a town is looking for real estate in a certain area. Send a mailer to those. You don't have to do an entire farm area, but to be able to invest in just those hand raisers is huge, and so that's a lot of times when we talk about lead generation, we won't get all into that, but the biggest issue with lead generation online is conversion, right? Oh, it's such a low conversion. It's a high cost. How can I empower my agents to be successful with conversion? Like you said, Jillian, follow-up is huge, which again, tech can help you with that. But then also utilizing the right tools for the right type of audience, not spreading that print mail everywhere, targeting it to that specific, lead source. If you're buying seller leads, they're expensive. But even if you're just getting a street address, send a mailer, do a home visit. I had a client of mine, he was purchasing leads in Boca Raton. Okay. You guys know that's not a cheap area. He called me, he's like, all I got is a street address from this lead. And I'm like, hold on a second. This lead went through a several step process, right? Through squeeze pages to even get to you. The average price point in that neighborhood is about $3.3 million. Are you really asking me what you need to do right now? What's your broker say, by the way, right?
Right.
So he kind of pulled it together, went to the house, dropped off some information. He listed the house for over $4 million, right? Probably spent a couple $100 on the leads. So it's, again, empowering our agents to utilize the tools that they have, and using those old school practices with those technology practices that we're trying to get in place and allowing them to work together, because nothing, and I work for a tech company, folks, nothing replaces you, but we got to be smart so we can get you in front of more people.
So Anthony, I got a quick one on that one. The coolest thing now is with those print, those actual hard copy mailers, we can incorporate things like QR codes and digital things that will bring them back into our website. We'll bring them back into our CRM, and they'll have to interact with, all the rest of our marketing and our media. So very cool.
And the great thing about COVID, I hate to say it, but if we have to find some good things that came out of COVID is, man, do we all know how to use QR codes now?
100%. We had a huge resurgence of QR codes.
Right. It's like, oh, now every restaurant still uses them, right? Before agents weren't using them a lot, but now we all can. So
yeah, when they first came out, they were hot for a second, and then they went away. And
right.
literally, you know, because of COVID, they came right back, and they're here to stay. So you use them.
We're using them on mailing pieces all the time for many, many things. Testimonials. I was on the news 3 weeks ago on a large network news station in Boston talking about the market for 5 solid minutes, and we put it out all over social media. But what else we did is put a picture of it on a postcard, sent it out to MySphere, our seller lead database, buyer lead database, with a QR code, and bang, people saw it. Anthony talking about the market, blah, blah, all day long. People are hammering that code, and it was dramatically increasing the views. And again, it's bringing education to them. And, you know, we were very proud of our newsletter last year. 54% open rate on our newsletter that we send out on behalf of our agents, which is phenomenal. And it's because of all the great homegrown content. But guess what? I tell my dad that, you know what he says? 46% aren't opening anything. There's nothing beats direct mail. Nothing beats direct mail. I'm like, Dad, you've been saying this since 1984. I was 3 years old walking around the house, and he's walking around with a postcard going, nothing beats direct mail. There's some damn truth to that. So I love how you do that with your newsletter, Kevin. I've talked about it. We've never done it on any system, but I think you just gave me the kick in the ass that I needed to do that. Jillian, I want to jump back to you because one of the things that you said that caught my eye is you said in caps, know your agents. I'd like you to elaborate on that.
Oh, yes. I think, look, we're in the business of helping agents, and we're facilitating those relationships that are happening. So we need to be our agents' connectors, and we need to know what our agents are doing in terms of their farming area, what their particular flavor is. We have a commercial division, we have a luxury division. So do I have an agent who I think would be a great fit for another agent who's in another market area of ours? Because we go from basically Sarasota to Marco Island. It's in Florida. It's kind of a long way. So our agents aren't experts in every residential area and every property type. We have some condo experts. We have some tennis community experts, golf lifestyle experts, things like that. I think that as leaders, we need to study what our agents are best at and where they're working, and be the connector for them. So when we do have a lead that comes in, we can say, hey, this is a great agent, not just for a zip code, but for a property type. And I think it's, as leaders, I think it's easy to just sort of do the paperwork, sign it, and go through the motions of closing transactions. But to really study your data, to know your agents, to be able to encourage them in a particular area, and then helping them brainstorm ideas of, how can I reach this condo unit? We have a lot of new laws in Florida this year. So how can we educate our agents so that they can be a knowledge broker, if you will? And that's kind of a trendy term that gets thrown around a lot. But how can we provide the information to our agents so that they can become the experts in a particular property type? We're not going to know that unless we actually know them. So I think it's, no matter how big your brokerage is, whether you, like for us, we have 1,500. So we have a large team of brokers and broker associates that, and success managers that really care for the agents one-on-one. And so they're, my big push is to know where they're working, know who they're working with, what their particular flavor of doing business is. So that's what I meant by that.
I like that. Kevin, what else do you want to add? Anything else that you've thought of that you guys are doing to help your agents get more referrals? And, you know, it says in any market, but right now everybody cares about right now in this market, which undoubtedly has less, certainly less sellers, and even, you know, even less buyers out there. That buyers don't have the same amount of FOMO that they had 2 years ago. So what else do you have to add? We've got about 5 minutes left here, and I want to make sure we just go around one more time and make sure everybody gives their thoughts.
Yeah, so a big one is database maintenance. So, if you're just have some database that's been around for, 5, 7 years and you haven't really, done the proper maintenance, it really starts to do a disservice. So you're going to spend more money. You're not going to be as targeted. If you spend time doing database maintenance, and what I mean by that is going in, analyzing who these contacts are, making sure you're updating everything, making sure that they are worthy of being on your list. And at certain times, it's okay to boil a client to a head. Like, okay, they're not going to listen to you. That's okay. We want to make sure that our database is up to date as much as possible so we can target our communications properly, right? And so if you've got somebody listed as a buyer and they've already bought, you're not targeting properly at all. In fact, like I said, you're doing yourself a disservice. They're gonna unfollow you, or they're not gonna listen to you anymore. So the one thing that we always talk about is, nobody really cares about a realtor until there's a need for one. So that is our struggle, is to stay top of mind during the periods of time where nobody wants a realtor, nobody cares. So that's why this community things are so important. But just making sure that your message is proper to the different segments in your list, that'll go 100% in getting yourself actual deals. So I would say, we spend a lot of time making sure that the agents are doing database maintenance. I mention it all the time in our webinars. So I think, Anthony, that would be the last real huge thing that I would recommend for leaders.
One of the things I always say about databases, it's supposed to be a living, breathing thing that has to be fed and maintained. That's exactly what you just said more extensively, but the quick way to put it is the way that I said it. So, Steph, I'm going to end with you because we're going to go back to these slides for a minute so you can give a little bit of an Elm Street recap. But Jillian, anything else to add?
Yeah, and clean up your database in terms of what Kevin was talking about earlier with those professional connections as well. Treat that with as much care as you do with your buyers and sellers. And just as an encouragement for all the leaders out there, I know it can sometimes feel like you don't have a peer group, or that it's hard to lead other people to do into success, but just remember that we're the creators and the revealers of opportunities for our agents. So we need to be the ones obsessing over what's coming next. We need to reveal the opportunities that are right in front of them. So evaluate everything in your business always, and from the perspective of what's going to be most helpful for your agents. Sometimes they'll go kicking and screaming into change. Sometimes they'll love it. But as a leader, you just have to forge ahead and continue to create opportunities for them.
I like the sound of that. Stephanie, let's jump back to you. I'm going to put some slides back up and hopefully I won't screw it up. We'll see how I do here.
No, you're good. You're good. I just want to say, Jillian, I love that saying, and I hope if I can get your permission to repeat it all the time, that brokers.
I know what I said, so yeah, go ahead.
Well, you said a lot of great things, but that as leaders, we need to be the revealers of opportunity, right? And that's the thing. So many, especially when the market is not like it used to be, right? Right now, we need to lean in. It's conference season. I've been to so many conferences, and I feel like it's a repeating theme that I've been hearing a lot of well-respected speakers reiterating of, we need to lean in these times. And as a leader, everyone that we're here to shepherd are going to watch us and what we're doing. Lean in, like you said, reveal and uncover opportunities, provide as much as you can for your offices to allow for automation, make things easy for them. And then, of course, be the leaders of providing education. And that's where you can also lean on us. So as smart leaders, we also know where we should delegate as well. Not every broker is that might not be their strength. Listen, I've met so many amazing brokers that is their strength, and they lead classes and they do all of that. And then there's some that they're like, that's not my forte. Doesn't matter, whatever that is, you can lean on people like Elm Street Technology, where not only do we have amazing technology sources for whether it's websites, CRM, social media automation, review engines, all that kind of stuff, but also we want to partner with you all. I had a broker of mine that's a client. He said, we have a tech partner, not a tech vendor with Elm Street Technology. And I was like, man, that's the biggest compliment you could give to somebody, right? That we partner alongside. We don't just provide you awesome tools that no one's going to know how to use or why they should use them. That's the biggest issue. So that's the team that I lead. So I want to, piggybacking off what we said about how awesome QR codes are now, you want to go to the next slide. There is going to be a QR code for all of you amazing brokers out there. If you would like to work with us as a tech partner and bring us in, go ahead, get your phones out, scan this QR code. All right, get them out, get them out. There you go.
I'm doing it right now too.
And you are going to be connected with my team. This is what we do. We connect with brokers. We talk to you guys all about what you are currently using as a tech stack, or maybe you don't have. We see where we can fill in some gaps. That's the beautiful thing about us as an end-to-end solution is if you already have X or Y and you just need Z, we got you on that. If you're, let us triage what your needs are. Then let us come in, do an awesome masterclass with amazing professionals that are younger and smarter than me. And I tease. And be able to partner with you guys on that and then fill in those gaps technology-wise. But we love to do it. Our classes are super fun. They're down to earth. I still, when I was traveling and on the road and teaching classes, I still have folks that will text me and, hey, Steph, you mentioned doing this. Should I do that? And we, again, want to partner with you all as leaders. So lean on us, bring us on in, and we'd be happy to work with you all as well. Cool. All right. Well, I think everyone's keep that code up, scan it. Cool.
Yes. Hopefully everyone saw the QR code. We had it up there for a couple of minutes. Thank you very much for participating. And Kevin and Jillian, I want to thank you both. You did a terrific job. I think we put on a great event considering I screwed up our practice call a couple of weeks ago. I think we came through. So thank you all.
Good job, Anthony.
And I want to say something. Leaders that are listening, #1 leadership event of the year is the RISMedia CEO leadership event that's in Washington, D.C. in 3 weeks. I will be there. I told Kevin he ought to join us. And listen, I can't say it enough. It's the best leadership event of all the industry events, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you're leading a brokerage and you're not there, you're making a mistake. They did not ask me to say that. They might even get mad that I plugged that because that's not the purpose, but I did it anyway. So thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Jillian,
thank you.
Thanks, Anthony. See you in your offices soon.